I mean, I'll
All
fucking
right.
use it, but
Why not? All right, we are live. Little late today, but we're live going over I guess, not small slate, but we only got 106 games today versus 160 like normal. So a little bit of a lighter slate on a Saturday, but man, we got conference tournaments are in full swing. We got the last of the Power Five home games in games today. It's big day coming up. But the game of the day, North Carolina Duke. Do we want to wait, Nick, or do you just want to hop right into the game of the day?
it's up to you. You run the show here. We can do whatever you want.
All right. Well, I'm amped for this game, so we're gonna start this. North Carolina at Duke. I believe it was 4.5 last night, unless it changed.
I think it's still. Oh, it's moved to 5.5.
Ooh. All right. Duke's catching. Yep, I see 5. So I guess take it away. What do we got today?
I mean, you guys know me. I'm not gonna bet it, but if we fucking lose to UNC at home again, I may end it all. So, they better fucking get it done. I mean, they've been playing well, man. Like, this team looked shaky as fuck in the beginning of the season, but I think guys have stepped up that, have been coming off the bench and getting into the rotation. And I think something that I've noticed with them that I saw one of the Duke like fan accounts tweeted as well is like, usually in this time of year, your roster, like teams' rosters become like 6-7 man rosters and guys just don't get into the rotation anymore. But it's like not the case for Duke. Like Shire's actually letting other guys get in and get some time and play. Which is kind of nice because they're actually doing well with the time that they're given. So he's got a lot of guys that can do some shit. So I think we get it done. Will they cover 6 points? I don't fucking know, but
Did they obviously beat them last year? Did they get the revenge from Coach K, or did they get swept last year again?
We got I mean, if we
got revenge.
If we get swept, I'll cry.
You guys did the sweeping last year, so now North Carolina got the revenge.
Yeah. 2 years ago we got swept.
Yeah, I was drawing a
and
blank.
Then lost in the tournament. Yeah. We lost to him fucking 4 times, I think.
Yeah, it was Coach K's funeral. That was a hell of a game. That was outside of Duke fans, that was probably one of the greatest games. He might as well be. He's not around no more. Actually, no, he's like a shadow coach, doesn't he? He has like an office in the building still.
He'll be at this game, I would bet.
Oh, 100%.
Oh, yeah.
100%.
It's my guy. Yeah, he's allowed to come.
I like Duke here. I'm not taking the away team. And I think North Carolina, like you said, North Carolina's won 5 in a row. Duke's almost had a whole week to prepare here. What's up?
Oh, my bad. I thought you were talking like North Carolina beat Duke 5 times in a row.
Like, no. UNC's
I see what you're saying. Oh, yeah.
So
my bad.
I think it ends here 100%. And Duke gets it done. I like it. Is this for the ACC too, right?
I believe.
I don't know.
Because they're both North Carolina 16-3, Duke's 15-4 in ACC play. So if they beat North Carolina, do they have the tiebreaker?
I think they. I don't know. I don't know how it goes, but the head-to-head would be 1-1, which I assume is the first tiebreaker. So.
Which I don't know if it goes to like home wins or win percentage.
Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea. I assume they might just give it to be co-champions or whatever.
Oh, I did not know Syracuse was the 20
regular season head-to-head is what they'll use for the tiebreaker.
Is there another one or no?
Yeah, I'm looking at that. If both teams played each other twice in the regular season, split the games, then record against the team occupying the highest position in the final regular season standings.
So their record against Virginia or some shit?
Yeah,
it's the third place team.
I think that's what it's saying here.
I got a feeling. Yeah, both UNC and Duke both beat Virginia.
Oh yeah, they did.
This is gonna be a shit show.
I assume it's just gonna be a co-champion like how Wisconsin was 5 years ago or whatever with the Big Ten.
Yeah, I mean they got 6, 7. I'm not reading all that, but if a coin flip or draw is required, Oh, can we
That
get a
is- that
fucking
is
coin
fuck-
flip at center court?
That is so that is so fucking stupid.
Oh,
Varsity
Cameron
Blue
Indoor.
style? Oh my
It's
god!
Tails.
No shit. Could you imagine
Tails.
the difference between a Duke UNC ACC regular season champ is a coin flip for fuck's sake?
Oh my god, we need this so bad. We need Roy
That is
Williams and
so
Coach K
dumb.
come out and flip the
Go
coin.
Duke.
They should box.
I'm
Roy
surprised
Williams
it's
and
not a
Coach
win
K should
margin or
box.
something. Oh, they should box.
That's who gets the fucking champion.
That's the only logical way to settle this at this point.
I'm down for that.
I got
coin
Roy
flip or a
Williams
boxing match?
in a boxing match against Coach K, I think. I got Roy Williams.
No
I think
way,
Roy's a
man.
little spry still. I think Coach K's, he
Remember when
looks
he,
like he
remember
can
when he
move a
jumped
little.
into the locker room? You know that meme? He's like, and then he like gets in there. You know, I've never seen Coach K do that.
That's a fair point. Yeah, he could dip and duck. There you go.
That's the real bet of the day. Roy Williams is beating up Coach K. I wanted to. But I think I like Duke here. It's not my favorite bet of the day, but I'll take Duke. And like Nick said, not fade the home team, and not afraid of the over either. Maybe, but I think I like Duke on the spread a little better. So they win 78-72. Well, perfect.
Covers
80
fair.
to 74.
Just covers what you're saying.
Yes.
Yeah, I kind of like North Carolina. Duke too is disgusting as that is. I mean, if you look at North Carolina lately, the NC State game was tight. Miami almost came back on them, and they didn't have Pack or Popular at all. I don't believe so. They were banged up. Barely squeaked those out at home. Lost to Syracuse on the road and Georgia Tech on the road, so they're 2-2 straight up in their last two road games. This is a revenge spot for North Carolina or Duke. They did lose to them by 9 earlier this year. And Duke, since that Wake Forest game where Flapowski took the world by storm, they've fucked up teams. Granted, it was Louisville. They fucked them up by, was that 25? Virginia, they won by 25. And NC State on the road, they won by 15. So they've kind of just handled teams. I feel like a lot of people are going to take the points due to the rivalry and RJ Davis and Armando Bacot and whatnot, but I feel like Duke probably gets this done. I hate the 5.5 number. So I'm going to go over. I just think this is probably going to be points in this one. North Carolina's defense has been suspect a little bit lately, especially on the road. They can score. Duke can score. I'll lean the over in Duke, but I hate this 5.5 now. Just favorites in 5.5. I don't like that number, but I'll lean Duke in this one.
Can we talk about?
Yeah, I agree.
Ooh, go ahead.
Yeah, I would take Duke. I think they're just playing better basketball right now. If you look at Carolina's last 5, they've kind of struggled. They struggled against Miami twice on the road and at home. Syracuse beat them outright. They played NC State pretty tough, which is a rivalry game, but at home. I know they're coming off the big win at Notre Dame, but I think Duke -5, I think is the better of the two plays.
Yeah, how much stock are we going to put into North Dakota, Notre Dame? So they dismantled them like they're supposed to.
Have you seen Wake Forest's performance since they beat us? They haven't.
Hey! We're only one thing matters. Wake -2 that game.
They fucking have lost. They sacrificed everything for that game, brother.
Yeah,
even their baseball team can't beat Duke.
Their baseball team sucks this year too. Aren't they really good?
No, they're good. They're the number one team,
number one.
and they lost to Duke yesterday.
Oh, I wish I would have known that. Yeah, Duke revenge.
They literally haven't won a shit since that game.
Yeah, they've been 5-point loss at Notre Dame, 9-point loss at Virginia Tech, and 11-point loss at Georgia Tech against Georgia Tech at home.
Yep.
Shit, that's right. I had Wake -13 that game. That was
you almost got the reverse.
Deader than fuck. Yeah, I almost got the reverse. Yeah, that was an ugly ass game. But yeah, so it sounds like we're all kind of leaning Duke here. In this one, anyone playing this or? going to be enjoying it?
Not yet, but we got a long time till 6:30. So
That's facts. I guess we'll start right into the main games here. Actually, what is Elliot saying? Duke is 3-7 against Carolina against spread when the ATS when the spread is 5.5 or better in the last 10. That's interesting.
Dude,
See, that's that stinky 5.5 number though.
History.
Granted, it's new coaches,
I
new
do hate
coaches and whatnot, but still.
What's Shire's record against North Carolina?
What, 2-2?
Oh yeah, 1-2.
Because they got 1-2. Because no, 2-1. Because Duke swept them last year.
Oh,
they got the revenge for Coach K.
So 2-1 then, yeah.
It was personal last year.
Yeah, they also sucked last year.
Yeah, I hate the
Did you see
5.5.
the recruiting class for Duke this year?
Yeah, it's fucking awesome. I mean,
They're a
if
bunch
we
of
don't win the
freshmen.
title next year, brother, it's over.
They're freshmen.
You're gonna get Liam McNeely too. He just decommitted. He's gonna go to Duke. I guarantee it.
We have like
Oh,
5 stars and a 4-star coming in.
Yeah, and IU has no recruits now thanks to Liam leaving. He's either going to Kansas or Duke. I'm guaranteeing that.
Woody got brought back and everyone dipped out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How dumb was that they rehired a Woody? Like shirts
fucking
in May, like what are they just gonna stay where they are now? Like what's going on? Why would you not hire one of those two guys?
It's ridiculous, dude. He's the worst on the court.
Woodson's a TJD and Hood Shafino merchant. Like he thrived with those guys.
Yeah, TJD is actually really good in the NBA, but yeah.
Yeah, if you say so. I mean, I haven't watched any of it, but
He's out there playing with pods.
Yep.
Podzemski, our guy. Love that guy. Next game, we got Arkansas is catching 15 at Alabama. This is a huge spread, but I believe Bama lost last game, didn't they?
Like their last game or Arkansas?
Yeah, or Alabama. Or am I?
Yeah, they lost 2 in a row. They lost at Tennessee and Florida.
Yeah.
Now they're laying 15 with a 174 total.
Yeah, that I saw the game and I hadn't seen the line yet, obviously, and I was like, oh, this game is probably gonna soar, and then it was fucking 174, and I was like, oh Jesus Christ. So
I feel like these high totals have been cashing though.
They have.
I don't know if this Arkansas team fucking. I mean, they did beat the shit, and they dropped 94 in LSU, so I guess maybe they still do care a bit. But man, have they been disappointing this year?
Yeah,
like I don't know.
Yeah, Bama's coming off of a almost 20-point drumming at Florida.
Mm-hmm.
Their last home game they lost against Tennessee. Yeah, they're 1-3 in their last 4. I mean, gave up 117, 88, 81, and 105.
Yeah, the SEC is fucking stacked, man. Like if Arkansas was good this year, like there'd be a lot of teams up at the top that are very scary to play. But I mean, like losing to Tennessee and Florida isn't like, I mean, getting beat by 20 is crazy, but like dropping those games isn't crazy.
No,
right.
Like Florida is sneaky. You know, they're not talked about a lot, especially with Bama and the other teams in the SEC.
Yeah,
but they are good. But I don't know. 14 is a lot of fucking points to be laying.
You know whose team total is only 79.5?
Who?
Not Alabama.
What's
Alabama?
93.5 juiced hella over.
Like
93.5 minus 125 juice. I'm seeing.
Jeez,
I'm seeing 94.5.
Sheesh. So you're saying I got an edge on this 93.5 here?
Yeah, but you're laying 125.
Man, I kind of like Arkansas team total here. I mean, look at Bama. They haven't given up less than 80. They've done it. Okay, Mississippi State and Georgia put up 76, 67. Otherwise, 99, 92, 75 to A&M, 93, 117, 88, 81, 105. This team doesn't play defense. I mean, Arkansas has nothing to lose. They put up 94, 102, 82, 88. Like, they can score. This 80 might be free which means they're going to score like 64 points.
God, you're back in Arkansas?
Just to score. It's not like Bama plays defense. They're more focused on like get the rebound, let's push it, let's score. Just fuck it, let them score. Let's get the ball back.
Fuck, I'll lean the over in this one, I guess. I mean, Alabama scores 100, Arkansas scores 75, 76.
Oh, dude, they score 86.
80 for you.
Yeah, it's in the slip. I haven't bet it, but man, I like that. 80 points. I mean, Alabama's got senior day too. They don't play defense. They are coming off of back-to-back losses though, so that's a little scary. But they don't play defense. They've given up 100, 105 and 117 in 2 of the last 4 games. They gave up 92 to LSU. Like, yeah,
I like it.
I'm jotting that one down. Arkansas.
Arkansas has also gone over that 80 mark in the last 4 games against Kentucky, LSU, Vandy, and Mizzou.
Thank you. Yes, they have, and they even put up 102.
And they put up 102 on Kentucky
on the road. Yeah. Yep. I'm jotting that puppy down. Anything else in this game? Otherwise, just jump to the next one. All right. Lemoyne, Merrimack, anybody? Little NEC action. Merrimack, I didn't bet it, but I like them plus 110 to win the conference. Now they're laying 7.5 against a Lemoyne team that's actually been playing pretty well lately.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like they've been dookie. They've won 3 straight. Yeah, they've won by 14, 16, and 21. They're rolling. Merrimack kind of struggled with LIU a little bit. I think it's a tad too many points for Lemoyne here. For a team that's been rolling and winning by double digits, feeling themselves. Merrimack obviously is elite, but they dropped the last game at Sacred Heart. They beat LIU by 6 on a neutral. I think the neutral court probably plays into the handicap here, and Merrimack wins by what, 4 or 5 points. It's in a tight game. I mean, Lemoyne the Dolphins they've been playing good ball.
I've got Lemoyne locked up.
Oh,
I've got the 7.5 locked for Lemoyne. For me, it's like that they're not eligible for postseason this year, so they just have nothing to lose today. It's kind of the Merrimack angle from last year in the conference tournament for me. So I've got Lemoyne locked up at plus 7.5. I think you nailed it. I think this is probably a 4 to 5 point game at the end of the day.
I like it.
I like the over here better than I do Merrimack, but I would lean Merrimack in this one because you got to remember too that Merrimack, I believe they are eligible finally this year.
Yep.
They should have been in the spot for Purdue. So I think they're coming out with a vengeance and whatnot. I backed Lemoyne last week, or was that Tuesday or Wednesday, minus 2.5. So I agree. Lemoyne's a good team. So I was kind of shocked to see the 7.5. Thought we'd see like a 5 or 4. But 17 NEC games with an over-under of this number have hit the over. So, or excuse me, 10 out of 17 NEC games with this over-under for Lemoyne. So I kind of like the over, just barely sneaking over. No pun intended. And I'll lean Merrimack and battle you guys. Maybe I have to bet it now since you've locked up Lemoyne. So lock that in.
Well, Elliot's bringing up a good point. Hard to beat a team 3 times. Granted, there's no science to that. It's just the feel. You know, you can't beat them 3 times. But the last time these two played, February 10th, so about a month ago, Merrimack won by 16, 66-50, and they were laying 7.5 that game. So now they're reopening the same total after a 16-point win. They're opening it back up at 7.5, which kind of feels a little weird. If they really expected them to smash them, I feel like this should be a bigger number then, especially after a 16-point drumming. they put on them. So, Lemoyne, add it to my notebook here. I like that 7.5 number.
You guys can be
Fins
like
up.
riding on dolphins. You're like floating on the ocean, riding on dolphins. Yeah, we need a graphic like
Hell
that
yeah.
or something. Let's do that.
Yeah, we'll have to recruit Chad G for this and get him to throw a crazy graphic up.
Nick's old Yukon bracket from a while, or graphic from a while ago. Remember that? The freaking Huskies.
Dude, we had one the other day. I'm pretty sure it lost.
Oh, damn.
Oh, it did. It did. It was those big man 3 parlay, and it fucking we almost hit it in the first quarter. But yeah,
Was that the
Oh,
one that the dude got ejected?
Mm-hmm.
That's brutal.
We
That
needed
is
2
good.
plus 3s on 2 big men. One hit it in the first 5 minutes, and the other one had 1 in the first 5 minutes, and then he didn't do shit, and then got ejected.
Oh shit! I was thinking of the Husky graphic versus Gonzaga.
Gonzaga, yeah, I remember
Yeah.
that shit. Yeah.
Betting on Gonzaga.
We're gonna go back to the pain well here. Longwood is catching 7 versus High Point today. Fuck High Point, first of all. Actually, I don't know if it's more fuck High Point or if it's fuck Rat. More fuck Rat.
Radford.
Fucking back in Radford, what are you doing? But it was funny though. We were in the chat.
That was smart. The
everyone's
first
like, "Fucking
first media
Radford."
timeout.
I'm
I
like,
was the smartest guy alive.
I'm like at my work desk, like on the computer. I look over and it's 20-8, and I was like, "This is fucking dead." It's like 'cause I was on High Point, but
Yeah, you jinxed it in the chat. You're like,
I
yeah,
know I did.
they're
I
dead.
don't,
I was like, you
I don't do
bastard.
that. I was like, yeah, they're not covering 11. No way. They win by 14. But
I actually called it too. I was like, there's no chance they're going to lead this game for a very. And I've never seen a team collapse as fast as Radford did.
They
Fucking
did. It was
14-point lead.
first half.
I think they gave it up by the next media timeout. Like damn near. Like it was horrible.
They'll have fans here again today. God,
It's in High
that's
Point.
awesome.
Like the whole tournament is at High Point Stadium.
yeah,
Like they're hosting
yeah.
it.
So they'll have fans. Trevor was sour as fuck. On this.
I was very my Twitter was very upset with Radford. But I was saying, I was like, if they somehow cover this, I'm gonna spin this. I'm like, hey, I just know what my boys need to hear. Just a little tough love. They got the cover. They did not. Fuck Radford forever. All fuckers.
I think
Not even
Longwood's
competitive.
probably the play here. I like the other conference tournaments at 12 better, but games. But I think probably Longwood would be the play at 7.5. I mean, they're playing good ball. Just scared of this High Point team. They're super streaky, but when they're on, they're freaking on, man, and they're a well-oiled machine. So it's tough to fade them. But I think Longwood can cover by, they're going to be in this game 10, 12 points, and that cover is still going to be alive due to the foul game. And maybe they get it down closer than the foul game insists. But, yeah. And watching them yesterday, that Winthrop game, they were throwing up bricks, man. God,
Yeah,
talking
it was,
myself out of Longwood.
I mean, Longwood only had 7 turnovers though. They weren't just dishing the ball out. They shot 7 of 17 from 3. 40% total from the floor. Grabbed 11 offensive boards. I mean, I don't know. Did High Point get scared enough where they, they're gonna come out again and just say fuck it, we're not gonna do that again, and they just jump on them? I mean, these two teams played this year. It was a 17-point win at High Point, and then it was a 2-point Longwood win at Longwood. So now they're essentially heading back to High Point to play again. You got a little bit of a revenge angle. High Point got scared yesterday. They came back, they trounced them. But they got scared. It was 18-4. Let me do this math here. 45. It was a 45-73 run after the 18-4 lead for fucking High Point. Like absurd.
Radford's fucking terrible. They were good like for a few years in a row. They've always had a decent program, 20-win season, close to 20 wins at least.
I've already made my decision.
At the beginning of the Big South. Let's hear it. Let's hear the decision.
High Point -7. Fucking Longwood lost to Radford by 8. Enough. That's all I need. Enough.
You're talking me into it too. I didn't like.
But
the
this number's
Longwood.
short. They just came back and won. Like, they trounced them. Now they're laying 7 in a
What's their,
revenge
what's
spot.
their first half? 3, 4?
Probably 4.
4.5.
I see
I'm
3
seeing
and a
3.5.
half. 3.5.
Ooh.
Three. Man, I've got a whole point
Kind of
of
like
that.
that, maybe too.
I do
They
kind of
went-
like that.
They're up like 4 to 6 points at half. They can't come out flat like they did yesterday. They can't. It's going to be the opposite. They come out scorching and then maybe flat.
Let's see High Points. Their last 3, they got plus 1.3 in the first half. They're plus 8.7 at home in the first half. Longwood minus 6.7 last 3 for Longwood in the first half. So, I mean, High Point's not coming out and trouncing in the first half, but Longwood's not coming out strong either.
Right.
But it does kind of feel like you should probably play first half, actually, just because we saw what happened. I mean, maybe High Point doesn't come out and be as complacent. I mean, they shot 1 of 10 to start that game. Like, that was, you can't start any
and they
worse.
still cover an 11-point spread.
Yeah.
I think the play is Longwood, but I'm backing the square bet and taking High Point. Yeah, I'm with you. I talked into it.
Yeah. And the fact that it's at High Point just kind of feels like they're going to find an extra gear at some point.
They did yesterday. They had that big putback dunk in the second half, and I was like, that's the game. I think they put them up 10 with like 15 or 16 minutes left in the second half, and there's a huge putback dunk, and the roof blew off. I was like, that's it. Like, I texted my buddy that was on it too. I was like, that's it. The
Dude,
game's
they had
over.
like 2 alley oops too, like
Oh
late.
my
Did you see
God.
like in a row, 2 possessions in a row, 2 alley oops. It was fucking hilarious.
Mhm.
It's High Point team, man. They're
Yeah.
destined.
And that place was loud. Like,
Dude, yeah.
it was
It was
first
rocking.
game of the day. It was like
Rock.
11 a.m., but holy
Yeah.
shit, I could hear it in my headphones. That place was rocking.
Yeah, it was. It was. Longwood's got a defensive advantage, maybe a little bit, but I don't think that matters too much.
Arkansas is up to 175 total. Just jumped to Clear Point.
Good call.
Just-
DLV, baby.
yeah. CLV, motherfucker.
Nick loves
all
CLV.
right. Now, some are saying this is the game of the day. Duke, North Carolina, nobody cares. Memphis, FAU.
Oh God. I thought you were gonna say something else.
FAU is laying 7 points. This feels a tad high. Does it not?
Yeah, your team kind of stinks, man.
They're not stinky. They're just suspect.
But Memphis is somehow worse.
I don't know. Memphis is, I don't know. They've just like clicked it on. Like now they're just like trouncing teams. I don't get it. Like UAB, they did just score 106 though. Do we fade a team off of 100 points? I like that angle.
And they did a
FAU's
chunk of it in the second half too. They were
Mhm.
they were down almost 20 at the break.
Yeah. They
That's
outscored them,
right.
what, like 60 to something
Oh my
insane in the
God.
second half.
Yeah, they went
60
went
to
nuclear in the second half.
60 to 26.
That's what I thought it was, yeah. They fucking destroyed them.
Holy shit. Yeah, that was, I couldn't believe what I was watching. I was like, oh my God, like UAB is going to lose this game. And then all of a sudden, UAB's not even going to cover after they were up like almost 20 points. That was brutal.
Jump off the roof for it. Dude, is FAU the play? If you back FAU all season on these spreads, you're fucking broke because they can't cover worth a damn.
They're 14-6 against the spread. 14-16 against the spread though this year, which
I have a
blows my
hard time
mind.
believing that's true for some reason. They don't cover.
Hey, they've covered 4 of their last 10, 2 of their last 4. They're starting to figure it out. But the spreads I mean, they covered 7 twice in the last 10 games. On the road at Wichita, and at home against SMU. Now, this is a revenge game. Obviously, Memphis beat them, but Memphis only beat them by 4. FAU, I mean, FAU hasn't been winning by a lot either, but this game's going to have a little extra juice for both teams, and the fact that FAU lost to these guys already still feels like 7.5 is a lot of points to lay. If anything, this feels more like a team total. I mean, actually, that was the way to be backing FAU this year, was their team totals. Their team totals have been smacking like crazy. Trying to log in here to this, see these splits, see what people are betting on here, but FAU team total, what is that listed at? Because it's probably around 70-ish.
I'm seeing 85.
85? What the fuck? These have been like 79, 78.
Seeing 77.5 for Memphis, 85 for FAU.
Son of a bitch. Damn, I liked it in my head when it was 79.5. What about maybe a first half? I mean, we've seen Memphis come out slow, and FAU, they can come out hot, but it is senior day. It always throws teams for a loop. Probably got to play the over in this one. Let's just be straight up here. Memphis defense. FAU is going to get buckets, and I'm sure FAU's defense is not going to all of a sudden start strapping like it is last year. So kind of lean the over in this one.
Give me the under. Memphis doesn't score points. I like the Florida Atlantic angle. Give me the under. I'm battling you. I'll take it right now. 161. And you can shoot me after. So if it doesn't win. My life on the line there.
Oh, look at this. Memphis is getting 68% of bets, 60% of money on the 7. Where did this total open? 162.5. So you're on the right side there. It's starting to move down. But yeah, it does. I don't know. It's scary laying 70. That kind of feels like what everyone's probably thinking is, how can you lay 7 with Florida Atlantic, who's winning by 3-4 points a game, and Memphis they look like they've come alive now. I mean, that's 7.5. Maybe they've won 4 straight. They've won by 24. Beat FAU. They won by 20-something. They're starting to roll. So I mean, that's 7.5. That 7 feels like a gift almost. Anyone?
I'm leaning with you.
I get it.
With the over. I don't know what I have no idea, brother. But yeah, I was leaning with you with the over for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, both of these teams get a lot of offensive boards, if I remember correctly. So there's going to be a lot of chance, obviously, for second chance opportunities here. And they obviously both play ridiculously fast. Memphis is 19th and FAU is 69th. And yeah, like, I don't know, Memphis's defense. I mean, they held East Carolina to 58, but like last time these two played, it was 152. But I think that's
150.
I mean,
no.
Yeah, FAU shot 25% from 3. Memphis shot 18% from 3. So like, surely those go up, and we get a few extra points here.
And they still put up 152. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so
160 total.
Even if they both shot like 28, 29, 30%, like it would have fucking soared over.
Hold up. Where's John L. Davis's points at? 18.5. This man just gets whatever the hell he wants at all times. He's averaging 18 a game this year. 29, 8, 20, 10, 20, 17. I guess he's been a little slumpy, but this is a big game. I mean, David Jones, John L. Davis is going to be a hell of a matchup. Quinterly and Elijah Martin. This is going to be a fun game. Really fun game. But I'm with you, Nick. I kind of got to lean the over with this one. And asking you shall receive 162.5 just popped up on the board. So it's moving up. But man, I don't want to play 85.5 with FAU. It's a lot of points.
You like the over though.
I hate total betting.
Under.
I fucking hate totals. I'll bet a team total or like a first half under. I hate full game totals. They always fuck me. Nick gets
much
it.
can
He
happen
bets them. He
final.
wins. I can't.
Yeah, so much can happen in the final 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Under.
Will, where are you sitting in this game?
This one gave me fits. I've just been staring at it because I feel like it's too many, but it might be a good spot for FAU to like reconvince people that I feel like a lot of people are kind of out on them right now, or at least down on them. Like they've struggled a lot this year, especially in conference play. Like you said, like that 14 and 16 against the spread does not sound right. Like I feel like they haven't covered at all this year. But Memphis, like they're playing a lot better. Like they got ranked and then they were just miserably bad. And I feel like they're starting to find their stride a little bit. It might be a tad too many. I'm not a total better at all. Like I haven't bet a single total this year. I have no feel for totals. If I had to pick a side, I'd probably lean Memphis with the 7.5, but this isn't a game that I'm playing.
Under in
Get outta
Memphis.
here,
Look at these guys. Let's go. We're battling.
I think out of my love for this team, this may just be a fan-sided backing of FAU here, -7. I don't know. It's a high spread. Why? They haven't covered. And to you guys' point, FAU started the season out. They covered 9 of their first 12 games. And then since then, was it 3, 6, 7 losses in a row? Yeah, they haven't covered shit since the opening season. I mean, that Arizona game, who could forget that game of the year? FEU in that one. And then ever since then, they've been hit or miss, and mainly miss. So, yeah, I'm adding it to my slip just because I like pain. So, give me a FAU -7 in this one. Nick, your boys, Mercer is catching 8.5 against Samford.
On the over.
The over
It's almost a system play if Mercer was a bit slower. But both these teams have played. Sorry, I'm being retarded. They've played each other twice this year. And it has gone over both times. First one was 87-80. Second one was 88-84. So they've been in the 160s and the 170s. I don't know why the fuck this line is only 153.5.
Yeah, seems low.
It's like soared over both times that they've played already. So it seems very low. Like Mercer has gotten to the line versus Samford a decent amount. They went 20 times and then 36 times in their second matchup. And Samford's the same way. They got to the line 36 times in the first matchup and then 26 times. They've gotten to the line 36 times both games. So Samford's able to get to the line, get a bunch of free points. Obviously, we know that Samford can rip the three. Mercer's 3-point defense is it's not horrendous by any means, but it's almost 200th in the nation. And then Samford's defense, surprisingly, Mercer's a very good 3-point shooting team. They're 72nd in the country, and Samford's 3-point defense is bad. They're 241st in the country. So one thing you can't trust with Samford is their defense. So I think Mercer will be able to put up points. And like I said, both of these teams are going to be able to get to the foul line to get us some points. They're both Mercer's 321st and putting the opponent at the line, and Samford's 281st. So we're going to get some free points, some clock stoppage, some extra possessions due to that. So I think 153.5 is like way too low. I don't know why it's that low.
Are you at all worried that it is a neutral?
Yes, Samford is disgusting when they're not home. Their offense looks like fucking dog shit when they're not in their home arena. Like they lost to fucking Wofford. Thank God Wofford put up 91 that game because we had the over, because I'm pretty sure that was a system. Because Wofford plays slow as shit, and they dropped 91 on Samford. And yeah, they lost to the road at Mercer, at Furman, which Furman's a good team, but they lost by 10 points. I'm pretty sure they were slight favorites or just like slight dogs in that game, and Furman just beat the shit out of them. So yeah, I am worried a bit for their offense not being home. But I think again, like if this was like 158, 160-ish, then I wouldn't have bet it because of that. But because it's only in the low 150s, like, I mean, I think it's gonna soar over.
I'm tailing my guy here for sure. I love that. I love that look, and you might as well ride the well as many times as you can, Nick, for this season, right?
I think I bet Samford like fucking 15 times at least.
Yeah. Like, you know, those like Action Network, like they give you like this My Spotify playlist or whatever for your bet. I think they saw that. Yeah, Samford definitely being on that for you.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, Oakland was on it at the end of last year because we bet him so many times in the beginning of the season. But yeah, next year Stanford is for sure going to be on there. I bet them like them in Northern Colorado and Eastern Washington, which is so funny because they're in just terrible conferences. But
yep.
Yeah.
All right, I fired on Arkansas over. Oh, what the fuck? They locked it up. Oh God, everything's locked up.
Yep,
Shit, it's 175.5 now. It's just creeping up.
It's an insane total, man.
There's like a guy back there like, increase it 1 point.
Yeah, they're watching us. To your point, Nick, the Wofford loss, I believe Samford was resting some guys too. I don't think everyone played that game. I know once they locked it up, they kind of
I don't like that. Fuck.
They kind of just like rested guys. So they came back. They did beat Citadel, but they gave up 80 to Citadel.
They did rest some guys. I see Chor didn't play, some other guys, but I'm sure it was like you said, I'm sure it was just a resting thing. I'm sure they're not injured. It was more of, I think they had their seed. Yeah, no one's on the injury report.
I don't like that though.
Shit.
I hate when people.
I think they had their seed locked up though.
Yeah.
So another little angle here is Samford is 12th in the country at forcing turnovers on defense. 22.2% of possessions, defensive possessions. They're getting a turnover. That's pretty damn good. I mean, Mercer is 156 at hanging on to it, but still, 16% of possessions in conference play is a turnover. Now you're going against one of the best teams in the country at forcing them. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah,
like just take the over.
Yeah, I kind of fucking hate the turnover thing for and over because it just, I don't know. Like you can just waste 15 seconds on, and then just turn it over. But if you like Samford spread, that's definitely a point. Yeah, they're very good at creating turnovers. And I just looked like, they had no shot at losing this conference towards the end of the season. They're 15-3, and UNCG is 12-6 in second. Yeah. So they didn't really have to play the last couple of games. So I assume that's why they didn't play any money versus Wofford, which I didn't know at the time. So that was very smart of me.
Word.
But it still hit, so it's all good.
That's all that matters. Next game, Georgia Southern versus App State. App State's laying 13, over-unders 145. Will, I know you said you had action in this game.
I have not locked it, but it's on my notepad to think about. They actually played App State really tough both games. They lost by 10 and then they lost by 2, I believe, in the regular season. And now they're catching 14.5. Is that what you said it's at?
14, 13
now. You guys have 14?
I see 13.
13.5.
13. I'm seeing 13.5. Yeah. I just think that's too many. I mean, Georgia Southern looked really bad the other night. Or not the other night, the other day against South Alabama with the turnovers, but they still came out with a win. I just think this is going to be too many points. I like it. I believe this is a rivalry game in conference as well. I know Georgia Southern isn't anything special, but 13.5 I think is going to be too many for a game that App State might call the dogs off late. The thing with these teams that really have no chance in these conference tournaments is they don't really quit. Like, I don't think you're going to see Georgia Southern quit. So I think that back door is going to be open towards the end. I haven't bet it, but I'm definitely leaning Georgia Southern 13.5.
I like it. Georgia Southern, I was on them against South Alabama. Was that yesterday or 2 days ago? Yeah, 2 days ago. They're playing hot right now. They only lost to James Madison by 7. after they got drummed 1, 2, 3, 4. They lost 5 in a row. And then after that Madison, the James Madison game where they only lose by 7, they play Texas State, get a win. They play James Madison again, only lose by 6, and then they're off 2 wins in a row in the regular season with Old Dominion and Marshall. I know they're not too good, but wins are wins, and they're kind of playing hot right now. I think they definitely can stay in this game. I don't think they win, but I agree with you. I think it's a little too many points. I know App State's defense is good. They're kind of riding high. They're the number 1 team in this conference that many people come November, December thought James Madison definitely had it locked up. And we're at a chance to see James Madison not even in the tournament this year, and App State wants to spoil that. So, yeah, I like that play. I think it's too many.
Yeah, I'm with you. I kind of lean Georgia Southern here. But if you look at it, one thing that was kind of worrisome was the amount of turnovers Georgia Southern had. That last game, 21 turnovers. That was a lot of turnovers, but they did cash in 11 blocks though. I mean, that was impressive, but you're going against an App State team here. Like you said, they played them tough. I think the last game was a 1 point overtime loss at Georgia Southern. They were catching 11 and 16 in these games. Now they're splitting it down the middle at 13. Kind of like Georgia Southern here, but man, the turnovers we saw yesterday just sitting in the back of my head, like worrisome. But tough to beat a team 3 times. They've played them twice, lost by a grand total of 11 combined points in 2 games. So feels like a good spot. I mean, App State. We saw what happened to what's her nuts fucking High Point yesterday. They came out just slow. They didn't look good. Because they hadn't played and maybe a little bit of nervous energy. I mean, you're the number 1 seed playing at home, and this is also or they weren't number 1. App State, regardless, top seed team came out just looked awful. So maybe Georgia Southern can jump on a little bit of a lead here and kind of hang with them, unlike fucking. Though the team who should not be named, but yeah, Georgia Southern 13 seems like the play here in this one.
Yeah, I'm not going to bet on this. I'm invested on an App State future to win the conference tournament. I bet them and JMU both because they're both plus money, and I don't really see anyone else winning the conference, so it's just literally for slight profit. But yeah, I kind of agree with you guys. Like 13 is a big number. Georgia Southern can easily stay within the number. So I'm definitely not going to lay the number, but I hope App State at least just wins outright to keep my future alive.
Yeah, I don't think you'll have to worry about that, but
I would fucking hope so, man.
Game. I don't know. I mean, they played them tough. They've played them tough, but there's no excuse or reason that App State should lose this game. Like, they should not even be close. 176 total now. This thing is just Alabama, Arkansas is just up and up and up and up. Next, kind of a stinky game, but it's got to be talked about. Siena versus Iona. If Siena is down without Dura Gordon and their guys, take the team total under. I'm telling you, if you guys know me, you know I've been betting Siena unders for like a good month and a half now. If they're missing their guys, they can't fucking score. They're awful. They're so bad. Like Dura Gordon and then the other guy, they average like 38 points a game, and they're missing them. Ely, Dura Gordon, and Tekken. So I mean, if their top 3 players are out, how the fuck are they scoring? Again, Iona is, it's tournament mode. They're not going to fuck around and let them hang around. I think Siena gets fucking blasted here. The 15 is probably not a bad look for Iona. They'll probably win by like 25, 30. The team total is 50, what is this? 59.5. So it seems like normally I've been getting them at about 63, 64. It kind of seems like they're catching on and they're aware that they're not going to play this game. So they're automatically just chopped it down. But yeah, just that's all I'm going to say about this game. Just if those guys are out, take that team total under, or maybe wait live if they get a couple early buckets somehow. Bump it up to 61, take that under, but they're not going to score 60 points in this game. Next, actually, I gotta go refill my coffee. Do you guys want to hop over real quick, Huff and
I
Will?
have
I'll be
nothing
right
on
back.
this game. Sienna,
Yeah,
got
whatever,
nothing
whatever
there.
game, whatever game you
You're
guys
an
want to talk about.
absolute
My bad.
sicko, Trevor. No,
Right?
Oh, I am. I love the MAAC ball, especially when they're missing the best players.
Mac,
It's so profitable.
it's my worst conference. So I'll tell you so I can get some profit. I have nothing.
I
to
haven't
give.
officially played it, but once I see that injury report with those guys out, more than likely going to be fine because this will be a neutral too.
Iona's
I'm pretty
been a
positive.
letdown this year. Tobin Anderson's not doing good in his first run, but
Oh,
they'll,
is this not,
they'll randomly like just blow a team out and then just get their fucking ass beat the next game. Who
This
loses
is
by
at
17
Iona. This
to
is not a
Manhattan?
neutral, by the way.
Who loses 17 to Manhattan? Manhattan is terrible, man.
Yeah, no. Hey, Manhattan, did you guys hear about that 8th year guy that got eligibility from Manhattan?
If I could go
No.
to college,
Eighth?
if I go to college for 8
8
years, I'd
year.
squeeze that shit out too, man.
Man's
Fuck.
got a family and a mortgage.
Dude, 29, getting a diploma. It's incredible.
It's insane. Yeah, I will be right back, but hop on whatever games you guys want. And I know I've kind of been clogging it up with some poopy games, but
Do you have the line on Oklahoma Texas to put on the little lower third? We can get started with that.
yeah, let me pull it up. What's it at?
5.5.
5.5.
144.
Ooh, the 5.5 number.
The 5.5 number of the Big Red River rivalry. Oh man, I love Oklahoma. I hate them this year. They always fail me, but I like them in this spot.
BRB.
I think so yeah, Will. I like Oklahoma in this spot. For some reason Texas wins at home. But sometimes they don't cover these spreads that they're favored in. They only like win when they're dogs, I feel like. So I don't know. I just think this Oklahoma team is a little better. They just came off that gritty win at home against Cincinnati. Tough to back them for what they've just done this last half of the season. Since February, they've been really bleak. 3-4 in February. They're 1-1 in March, but they lost to Houston by 2. They can go into Texas and cover. I think they absolutely got the brakes blown off of them by Texas by 15 at home. Oklahoma scored 0 points that game. I mean, they scored 60, but they were pretty much out of that game from the get-go. Even though they're only down 1 at half, they started out down like 20-6, like 20-10, 20-11, and then came back and then just fell flat in the second half. So Oklahoma's a tough team for me to back. I don't love backing them, but I kind of like the 5.5 here on a cover of like a close game. I think they can get it done. Maybe even be live here a little bit on the revenge angle.
Yeah, I agree. To me, this line is a little short, given that they did lose by 15 at home, and now they're only catching 5.5. And I know Texas is off the Baylor loss, so it's a good bounce back for them. But yeah, I would 100% lean the Sooners here, catching almost 2 possessions. Rivalry game, they're always going to get up for, and like you said, they did not play well the first time. Texas to me has been really, and I think it's just because I've bet them in spots that they don't play well, and that could be it. But to me, they've been like kind of inconsistent at times to the point where I don't really like backing them, at least from a betting standpoint. Like, good team, but not a fan to bet on them. I mean, they were I know last week was a bad beat against Baylor with the 7.5. They lost by 8. But yeah, I think Oklahoma is a good play here. I've got that written down. I haven't locked it up yet, but that's a spot I was looking at grabbing action in.
Yeah, I'm curious what the other guys think. That Max Abmas, man, he's baller, man. Absolute hooper. He's turned it on in the Big 12. Kind of proved me wrong a little bit in the Big 12. Both of these teams though need this win, so I think there's both teams that are going to be playing a little desperate. So they all can use this win. Texas at 19-11, Oklahoma at 20-10. That's barely enough to get in. There'll be plenty of Big 12 teams in, so they will get in. But this is for seeding, man. And and having a better draw next week too as well.
Yeah, I like it.
And I think the total.
Yeah.
The total 143 is kind of telling. Oklahoma. There's no way Oklahoma only scored 60-something points again. Like I think the total. If the total was higher, I'd actually lean Texas there maybe. But I think Oklahoma can cover the short number if they think this total is going to be around 143. I think they can cover that at least on one of those.
Yeah,
reasons.
they've got Oklahoma team total at 69. Yeah, Oklahoma shot 39% from the floor in that game and scored 60. And they only shot 20% from three, 4 of 19. So they jacked up a lot of threes and nothing went down for them. So I think it's a good spot. Only down 1 at the half in that game. The only thing is the boards. Texas dominated the boards in that game.
Yep.
And granted, Oklahoma did miss a shit ton of shots. But I think it could be. They force a lot of turnovers when Oklahoma's defense is rolling. I think that's just a little too many points. I think you're right. I think they're live in this game. I think that if you are looking to bet it and you want to play that money line, that's not a bad money line play at all.
I definitely like the cover better. I don't know if they win, but I think they are. There's a chance of them being live. Absolutely. What the fuck? Nope. Anything else on the 2:00 slate for you? There's some decent games on 2 Eastern. I don't know where you're from, but I'm on the Eastern time for some reason in the middle of Indiana.
I'm on Central in Wisconsin.
Oh, whiskey guy with Stooley. Okay, let's go.
Yeah.
Drinking
there
beers
is one game
in Wisconsin. One game on the 2:00 slate. Are you looking at Ole Miss, Texas A&M?
Yep, that's the one. Texas A&M catching 1.5 at Ole Miss. I have locked up Texas A&M plus 1.5. I think it's a great spot for the Aggies. Ole Miss, the record is a little bit deceiving just because they started off like unbelievably hot and they were the wagon at home through that first 2 months of the season. As of late, though, they just lost to Georgia at Georgia. They struggled against Mizzou at Mizzou. South Carolina beat them up at home. Alabama scorched them at home. And they only beat Missouri by 3 back in early February at home. I think it's a really good spot for Texas A&M. They're playing better ball. That's also a team that I was higher on coming into the season than what they've done recently. They've been a little bit disappointing. I really thought they were going to be top of the SEC this year, but coming off wins against Mississippi State, Georgia, they played South Carolina, really tough, lost by 2, and then Tennessee blew them out prior to that. But I love Texas A&M in this spot. One of my favorite plays in this window, one of my favorite plays of the day is Texas A&M plus 1.5.
Yeah, I like it. I backed Ole Miss against Georgia, and they were in it. It was never the wrong side, right? It was very well live, but they couldn't get it done against Georgia. I think Ole Miss is seeing the writing on the wall. They barely have any quad 1 wins. Yes, a 20-win season for Ole Miss is incredible. In Chris Beard's first year there, so I see this team as a bright future. But yeah, I feel like this is one where they're like, fuck it, we're done. I don't know if they have many seniors. But I'm with you, man. This Texas A&M team's really disappointed me. I've talked about this multiple times. I had them ranked 13th or 14th in our little top 25 preseason previews. So, and I'm with you. I had them the chance to win on an SEC future too as well. So, yeah, it's really disappointing. But you're right. They've kind of turned it on at times, and I feel like they turn it on when you least expect it to, versus when they are backed. Just freaking losing 5 in a row, that solidified them probably out of the tournament. But they want to spoil one. I definitely like it, and love Wade Taylor and just love that team. It's just a shame to see the results of this season. But if they make a run in the SEC tournament, do they have a chance to get in? If they win this game, they make a quick run, win 3 games.
Yeah, they'd have to go deep probably.
Yeah, I think they got to go the championship or semi. I don't even know if the semis get them there. We'll see.
Yeah, I don't know either. I'm actually on Ole Miss on this game.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, we already gave another winner away on the show.
yeah,
Someone's winning.
another winner. Yeah, someone's winning. That's why we battle.
Like, I don't know. Like, you touched on it. The Texas A&M offense is just fucking disgusting at times. Like,
It's like Wade
they-
Taylor. That's
yeah,
it.
they put it on like we've seen it like in that Kentucky game, month and a half ago when they dropped 97 on them. Granted, it was in OT, but even in that Tennessee game at home, they put up 85, and it's like they have flashes of them being a very, very good team, and like when their 3-pointers go down, like this team is totally different. But on average, I mean, they're like one of the worst 3-point shooting teams in the fucking country, which is just absurd for a Power 5 team. Like they're 361st, and with the guards that they have, it just doesn't make any sense how they're this bad on offense. But I mean, yeah, their defense is good. Both teams. I mean, Texas A&M is very good at. They're the best at offensive rebounding, so they're going to get some second chance opportunities. And you touched on it too. Like Ole Miss had a very, very good start to the season. I think we all kind of knew that once they got into conference play, it was gonna, get a bit worse for them just because of how good the SEC is. But they still managed to put together a 21 season, like you said, under Chris Beard. Like, and the thing about Chris Beard's team is like if you're not playing hard ass defense, like he's just not going to play you. So I do kind of trust their defense, especially being at home here. And their 3-point shooting is obviously much, much better than Texas A&M. So I'm kind of trusting a Chris Beard fired up defense and just a better offense and basically a pick 'em here at home.
It's gonna be great. It's gonna be beat you up basketball. I love this game, even though it's not one of the top premier games. I think this is one of the better games that you're going to see, just street ball type play, and I love that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, what's the total in this game? 143?
It's low. Yeah, it's low.
Same as, did you guys have a play in Oklahoma, Texas? We talked about that. I actually I like Oklahoma. I took them plus 5.5. Hate back in Oklahoma on the road, but I think this is a little revenge angle.
That game fits two systems. The 5.5 favorite, auto fade. Just fuck the 5.5. I hate that number. And two, Texas, your back is a dog. Texas as a favorite, you fade. It's been working this year. I don't want any part of Texas as a favorite. Now they have expectations, and we know what happens when Texas has expectations. Down. So, leading Oklahoma in this one. I might play it. Fuck it. It's a fun game.
Yeah, it's a good game.
Another game, a little mid-major. No, I don't even care about that game. Let's go to a real game. Iowa State is only laying 3.5 at Kansas State. Does that stink a little bit? I mean, Kansas State has the perception that they are fucking dog shit, and they're only catching 3.5. I think Tyler Perry, it's 134, but Tyler Perry's just been a man possessed lately.
I'm also on this game as well. Iowa State laying a 3.
Oh, okay.
I'm not taking Kansas. Yeah.
I'm a sucker for some fucking cheese, man. And it's been paying off. Like sometimes these lines fucking stink and it scares people off and they take the side that doesn't stink, but sometimes it's just fucked. Like we've seen it. I think that like the most memorable one for me is when like Georgia was a pick 'em at Vandy or some shit, and it's like that line fucking stinks out loud. But that's like that was the easiest win ever. But yeah, I think the reason that it's that low, like I think it's in my mind it's justifiable just because of how good Kansas State's defense is, and obviously being at home. But yeah, I mean like their offense is just. It's fucking gross, man. And Iowa State's defense is second in the country in adjusted efficiency. Again, like being on the road is a bit scary. All of their losses have come away from home. So, I mean, they've gotten wins on the road at like Texas, Cincy, UCF. Like they can win on the road. But when they drop games, it is also on the road. So I think Kansas State can stay within the game. Like, I don't think Iowa State's going to blow them out just because it's going to be such a slow game and it's not going to be very high scoring. So I don't think anyone's really going to pull away either side, but I would rather lay 3 points with Iowa State than take them with Kansas State here.
Yeah, I hate backing Kansas State. I just hate backing that team. They're not the same team, obviously, as last year, and March was fun. Everyone loved them. They got the vibe from Kansas State, but this is a completely different team. I know people don't roll into Little Manhattan though and win games, but I'm with Nick. I think Iowa State gets it done on the favorite. I like the 3.5. They can easily win by 4 to 6. And like Nick said, this Iowa State defense is staggering, and they have a chance to, if they win the Big 12, they have a chance to be a number 1 seed in the tournament this year. So pressure's kind of on for Iowa State. They're definitely like in at a 2 to 3 seed for sure in the tournament, looking like a 2 right now. But if they win this game and then make some noise in the Big 12, they could be a number 1 seed, which is crazy to think about, especially given this team kind of came out of nowhere and after losing to Virginia Tech, not really having a great non-conference schedule, but they've really turned it on in the Big 12, and I hope to have muscles like TJ Otzelberger one day. So, fuck yeah.
This game is also pretty important for Big 12 standings, like right before the tournament too. Like I think Iowa State's tied for 4th right now, and Kansas State is in 3rd.
Iowa State's tied. Iowa State's in 2nd in the conference, only behind Houston, 13-4. Yep. If they win and Houston loses, I believe. Yeah, I'm staring at it right here.
Oh, brother, this is giving me fucking women's standings. Jesus Christ!
I was like, what are you talking about? How was Iowa State?
Dude, that's
third. I was like, yeah, wait, what?
All right,
that's been happening to me all week. Every time I've got to pull it up, it auto pulls the women's standings, and I've done it multiple times this week. And I keep looking at it. I'm like, this doesn't look right at all.
Yeah,
the ESPN score thing brings up women's scores before men's too when you hit on NCAA.
Okay, it still does matter though, because if they win and Houston loses, Houston loses, they
share it. I think they share the Big 12 regular season.
They've only played one, so I don't know how these fucking stupid ass tiebreakers work. So maybe it doesn't matter. I don't fucking know. My bad. I got baited.
It does matter. TJ Otzelberg is gonna fucking in his brick ass chest and all right. I'm getting a little glazing on him, but yeah, God, he's gonna bully ball in Little Manhattan. And look at Kansas State; they're like seeing the light of the other Manhattan. Let's go to New York because that's where we're destined for the postseason. So they really will end up in Manhattan maybe if they go to the NIT. And I think they see the NIT and it's like, let's just let Iowa State beat us, I guess. So I don't see them in this game.
You guys have got this all wrong. This is a Kansas State game, baby. Are you kidding me? I'm addicted to this team at home. They're 3-1 in their last 4 at home. They beat Kansas, BYU, and West Virginia. If you want a little fun sprinkle, overtime at home. They've gone overtime a bunch at home this year. Actually, 7 times they've gone to overtime this year. So, whatever. But if we're looking at this, Iowa State, who did they play last week? The BYU game. They got out horribly, jumped out horribly, and then that road game against UCF, they were losing that game with like 3 minutes left, and then UCF just shit the bed. Kansas State now, this team, they live and die by like the 3 ball with Tyler Perry and get to the line. Iowa State follows a shit ton. They're allowing 34% of points to come from 3. Teams are jacking up a shit ton of 3s, 3-pointers per field goal attempted. And the assist level, what is this in the country? 343rd worst at assist rate on defense. So like teams are getting assists everywhere. If we're looking at Tyler Perry here, his assists last couple games, 2 in a loss to Kansas, 3, 6, 5, 4, 3, 4, 4. He's getting assists a lot, and Kansas State at home is just a much different animal. I think I'm gonna probably play Kansas State plus 3.5 here. If you wanted a prop, I don't hate Tyler Perry assists. Also, his threes, he shot 0 of 5 last game. Otherwise, he's been 6 of 8, 6 of 11, 4 of 7, 3 of 8 prior. So he can shoot the ball, and he will be. I mean, he has no reason not to. No one's expecting them to win this game, but I think he's going to have a much better game. And he's what everything revolves around for this Kansas State team. If he's going to turn it over a shit ton and not hit threes, they're going to get blown out. But this 3.5 line kind of tells me that they hang in, and Tyler Perry has a big game. Arthur Kaluma has a big game. I think they're going to be live here. I mean, in Iowa State, they went on the road. They were losing with 3-4 minutes left. They went to Houston and lost. Can't even can't knock that. They went to Cincinnati. They won by 9. Texas, they won by 5. Baylor, they lost. TCU 1-point game. Lost at BYU. Lost at Oklahoma. Like on the road, they're a different team, and they let teams hang. So I'm gonna take the 3.5 here. I don't think anybody wants us 3.5, especially after what happened last week. They were losing, and then all of a sudden, UCF couldn't cover the spread after having the lead in the final 3-4 minutes. So I think a lot of people are going to like Iowa State just because that happened last week. Iowa State can win by 20 if they want, but this line kind of stinks. I'm addicted to Kansas State. This is the last time I'll get Tyler Perry at home. I think I'm going to go Kansas State plus 3.5 here. So I think, was that another winner we just gave out on the show?
Yep.
It's another winner.
Boom. All right. Yeah, Kansas State. I love Kansas State. Tang Gang, stand up. Jesus, I'm a mess. All right. Next game. Anyone have anything for Gardner-Webb Asheville, or we'll just move on from there?
I'm on the
All right.
over.
Preach.
I'll just go over it really quick. I think these Gardner-Webb games like kind of soar over because they play super fast. They can get to the line and they put teams on the line a bunch. And Asheville's very good at getting to the line as well. I think this total, I got it, 145.5? Yeah. Last time they played 78-77, soared over by 10 points. And then the first time they played 80-73, 153, soared over by like 9 or 10 points again. I believe there were a ton of free throws, like I had mentioned in those games as well. So I know it's a tournament game, so maybe the play is a bit slower here, a bit different. But I think as long as we can get to the line, like the first time they played, Asheville got to the line 23 times. Gardner-Webb got to the line 20 times. And last time they played, they didn't get to the line as much, only 14 and 11 times, but it still went over. So I think Asheville's defense is not the best, their interior defense especially, but Gardner-Webb does struggle a bit from the interior as well, but they can shoot the 3. So I think as long as they're knocking down their shots and we get, a decent amount of free throws in the game, 145.5 is a number that's easily achievable.
I agree. And I'm going to guess Asheville's not going to come out complacent or anything after yesterday. Damn near fucking lost.
No, they
the
look
game.
like dog shit. Yeah.
Holy shit. I can't imagine they're going to look that bad. Now the short spread is a little suspect here, but it kind of feels like it's probably more of a better team. But just showing yesterday that nobody's going to lay 5.5, 6 points with Asheville after yesterday. So I feel like put it a little low to kind of drive action.
Yeah, what is it? It's 3.5, right? Yeah,
3.5. Yep.
Yeah, I don't really lean aside either way. Anytime I bet against Gardner-Webb, they fucking look like the Boston Celtics. So I refuse to bet on the side in their games. But I think 145 is achievable.
Fair. And another little fun stat: Gardner-Webb, 355th tallest team in the country versus UNC Asheville's 63rd. They're about 78 inches on average versus 75. So there'll be a big height discrepancy interior wise also. So and if you're looking at this, Gardner-Webb, they're all right at grabbing defensive rebounds, but not too good. And then Asheville doesn't even grab offensive boards or crash the defensive glass. So maybe that's where this game can be won, is if they they're all crashing. But man, you're gonna have a height disadvantage everywhere. It's just if UNC cares and wants to take you off the glass, they will. I would lean Asheville in this one. I just feel like they got to show up after yesterday. You can't have another lollygag game like you did. Otherwise, you're going to get bounced, and they could lose to Gardner-Webb today easily if they do that. But I feel like they're going to come out and play a little better. What did these two do? Yeah, UNC Asheville lost at home 78-77 against them last, and lost 80-73 on the road. So again, Jesus Christ. This will be the third time they've played. They're already 0-2 against them. They lost at home. Man, 3.5 kind of feels like the play here for Asheville. I mean, I feel like they got to get this going. You can't lose 3 times at Gardner-Webb and 5 follow up that Charleston Southern game with another shit ball like he just did. So, yeah, lean Asheville. I'm not going to play this game though. Rooting for your over. Creighton Villanova. Anybody?
That game fucking stinks, man.
Yeah, it
Mhm.
does. Villanova. Nasty. What are the
Yeah.
splits on this?
I was tempted to take
Ooh.
Creighton, but they fucking, I don't know what Creighton you get when you bet on them anymore.
They're flying cross country too.
Mm-hmm.
In Philly. Wait, this isn't actually. Hold on. This isn't at Villanova's arena either. I don't believe. It's
I think
at
it's
it's where the
the
Sixers play.
Sixers play, yeah.
NBA rims.
Mm-hmm.
This line reeks the fuck, and I kind of like Villanova here. They just got embarrassed by Seton Hall on the road. I mean, otherwise they've been playing good. Their only loss was to Connecticut. Otherwise they'd won 5 of their last 6 going into that game. They need this game bad because I believe they're kind of borderline bubble. They might be in, but that last loss kind of hurts big time. I mean, Eric Dixon should just dominate. I mean, I know Kalkbrenner's in there, but man, Dixon's just a man. He'll throw his weight around and dominate that paint. What did they do when they played earlier? Creighton. It was a 2-point win on the road for Villanova. They won at Creighton. Otherwise, they have not played them since. So to be, maybe they got that loss in the back of their mind, but 1.5. This line reeks. What do you got, Will?
Stinky.
Yeah, I'm leaning Nova here, but it's not a game I don't want to play necessarily. I would lean Nova, but those games that are in the NBA centers are different than on campus too. And that's usually a red flag for me, especially when the line is like this. Like that makes me not want to play it more. It's a stay away for me, but I would lean Villanova.
Yeah, those NBA rims. Arenas. I don't know why they do this. Like, why would you have your final
it's
home game of
stupid.
the season at Wells Fargo?
Not at home. Yeah, it
So stupid.
No sense.
Who did this? Somebody else did this. San Francisco did this against Gonzaga.
Yeah,
And they got trounced.
Mm-hmm. That's usually
dumb.
what happens. That's usually what happens in those games too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So one way or another, it'll be a smash spot. But man, you're looking at splits here: 80% of bets and 77% of money's on Creighton. 82% of bets and 70% on the money line for Creighton. It opened at 1.5. It hasn't moved. Total's going down a little bit, but yeah, total's gone down with getting majority of the money. So there's a little something there, but yeah, I'm kind of with you. With it being an NBA arena, I don't know if I want to play this, but man, this spot just screams Villanova. But Creighton doesn't foul to give Villanova free points at the line, which is where they, Villanova doesn't. They're only getting 15% of the points from the line as an 82% free throw shooting team. That seems kind of fucked. You should probably be getting to the line more.
Who is Villanova?
Yeah,
Villanova.
15%.
That's because they just rip.
shooting.
They just shoot a fucking ton of threes, so they just don't go to the line.
Yeah, fair point.
Even though they
fair point.
suck.
Yeah, that's just maddening. But just on paper, this doesn't seem like a Villanova spot. But man, they're desperate. I kind of lean them. I'm with Will. I'll probably lay off of this game. But man, Villanova money line just staring at me. All right, I did just fire on Arkansas over 80.5. I didn't want to play minus 130 for that team total, so I just let it go up a point. Yeah. So, Huff, anything for Nova Creighton, or you're just gonna kind of be watching it like the rest of us?
Yeah, nothing here for me. I don't want to back Villanova. I think the whole world, like you said, is back in Creighton. Line's telling you Villanova, though. If I look out at how I bet on other games, so Eh, mm, I'm staying off.
Big boy games, 3:00. Kansas is catching 8 at Houston. Over unders 139.5. This is a revenge game. Let's not forget that what's nuts. Kansas won by what is this, 13, I believe they won by at home. Now they're going to Houston, and Houston is laying 8 points here. But I believe, let me check these. Let me check the stats. I believe Kansas shot the lights out of that last game, and they only won by like 13 points. Not Kansas State, not Arkansas. Come on.
Yeah, they
give me the
couldn't really
Kansas.
miss. They shot 46% from three, 78% from the interior. They got to the line 15 times and they only made 10 of those. But yeah, I mean, they couldn't miss from three in the few attempts that they had.
Yeah, and Kansas had 17 turnovers, to 2 for Houston, and
Yeah,
this was a
that's
13-point game. I mean,
no, it was the opposite. It was the opposite. Kansas had all the turnovers.
that's what I meant. My bad. I must
Yeah,
have.
somehow they had 18 fucking turnovers and still won by 13 points.
Yeah, they couldn't miss. I mean,
Yeah, same.
69% nice from the floor. Man, yeah, just everything they shot was going in, and it's still Houston still was hanging around. I mean, if Kansas shot 60% that game, this is probably a one possession game. So I kind of lean Houston in the revenge here. I heard people arguing that it's like they've kind of won this. They've got the Big 12 wrapped up, but they don't. They need to win this game to actually secure it, because if they lose and Iowa State wins, then it's a share, I believe. So they need this game. This is a revenge game. Houston, they didn't get embarrassed. I mean, they played well. It's just like I said, when you play a team shooting 70% and you only lose by 13, that's impressive on the road in the fog too. So, I kind of like that 8, but McCullers back for Kansas. They've looked a lot better with him back. So I don't want to fade them, but we know how bad Kansas is on the road. The 8 kind of feels like it's telling you to back Houston here, or maybe even a Houston first half. Who knows? Because they've been dominant at home in the first half.
I'm not fading Houston. Chance to lock up the Big 12. Welcome to the Big 12, Houston. I don't want to fade them on the revenge spot here. I hate the number of 7.5, but I'll take that. That's on FanDuel, 7.5. So I'll take that in hopes that they pull away. But I do like your first half angle as well. Like you said, Houston's one of those teams that's going to be up by, and that's probably 3.5, 4, I'm assuming. I don't have my book up. I was doing my little conference tournament previews.
It's 4.
But yeah, I still like that. If it's 4 straight up, you have the push opportunity there too. So I like both angles of them covering. I think that's one they got to come out swinging, especially in the first half, and they've been able to do that this season. But yeah, I'm with you, man. Kansas can easily cover this number. It's definitely don't think it's a bad side, any side you take. But I love this Houston team. They've made me some money this season, and I don't want to fade them at home with a chance to lock up the Big 12 and give Kansas their worst season ever in the Big 12 under Bill Self.
100%. Nick, the total guy. What about this under here? If we look at the last game, it was
Nick's not betting an under.
that's a good point. Good point.
He's Mr. O.
Okay.
My betting, if you see I'm sure people see my fucking cards, it's literally all favorites and overs. It's just like how it goes. Like if I like the dog usually I just won't end up not betting it, or the under, I just won't bet it,
right?
Because I just lose. But yeah, I mean, betting Houston overs is not fucking fun. You're gonna have to watch until the last second every game. I think I've bet them 2 or 3 times this season. I think the Texas game maybe was one of them. It was 133 or something. And you have to watch until the last 2 minutes of their games if you're on either side of their over. So yeah, I don't know. No real opinion on the total.
Man, I kind of like the under just because They scored 143 at Kansas. Kansas shot 70%. They had 17 turnovers, and they still scored 80 points. This 139 feels like it's going to be under. This feels like it's just a grimy, sloggy game. I mean, if somebody shoots and 70% again and goes over, so be it. But man, what are the odds of that happening? And this is only 4 points lower than what that game finished at Kansas, where they're much better, and Houston just at home suffocates teams. So kind of feels like an under spot. Houston's 7-3 to the over in their last 10 though. 7-3. And 2 of those unders have come in the last 3 games. So they've been an over team up until recently. So, and this is the highest total they've had in their last 10 games. So I don't know. Will, anything in this game? Anything you're feeling?
Not in this one, no. I'm leaning, and I know Kansas shot the lights out, but I'm leaning the +8 just because it's a huge number. I think this is going to be a relatively low scoring game, and for them to win by nearly double digits, I think would scare me off Houston. So I would lean Kansas here, but this is not a game that I'm really interested in grabbing it because I could see it going either way. I mean, it's still Kansas at the end of the day. It's still Bill Self at the end of the day.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, and McCullers is back, but he did play in that last game against him, and he had 5 turnovers.
Yeah, that's the thing is Houston just staples to the floor. And Kansas hasn't been the same Kansas team that we've seen in years past. But coaching goes a long way in March. Yeah, especially on the road. This was kind of a coin flip game for me, just with that number.
Yeah, I'm with Kenneth here. Houston, they don't forget Coach Sampson's going to have them ready. He's taking them first half. Maybe Kansas team total under first half too. I was looking at the Kansas team total, Kenneth. It's 30.5, which I was intrigued by. Not to mention you have the revenge angle. Kansas on the road is bad, but Houston I believe they are the number 1 team first half margin at home. Yep, they're the first. Plus 16.2 at home this year for the entire season. They're number 1 in the country overall. First half 10.7. Yeah, I mean they're just come out dominating at home. Where is Kansas in this on the road? Kansas on the road minus 0.2. So they versus plus 11.6 at home. So they hit the road. They're generally playing from behind or tied at the break there. So Kansas first half, but how? What do you guys think would be the better play? Like Kansas, do you think the spread or a team total? Because I mean, Kansas put up 43 that first half at home, but they shot 70%. So
I'm kind of liking that spread, that first half spread.
Or
yeah, I think that might be a good look. I could easily see them getting punched in the mouth early and then maybe scraping back towards the end of the game. But I think you mentioned this pretty early on. Like, it seems like if you bet the first half, like the opposite of what you think is going to happen is going to happen. Like, they'd probably come down and be down 2 at the break and then win by 10 in the total game. So yeah. I'm always weary of first halves, but I actually think that's a pretty good look.
Yeah, the other angle I don't like is the senior day. I think senior day kind of messes with guys. They kind of throws you off your routine. Instead of coming out warm-ups and then game, you got your family's there, you're getting your jersey and the coach and everything else. Like, it's a different energy, and then you're supposed to just flip it and go play a game immediately after. So yeah, it's maybe a first half under. Because if Houston does come out a little sluggish offensively, their defense isn't going to be sluggish. They know what happened. They're not gonna trail to Kansas. So maybe maybe that Kansas team total under 30.5. How much have they been scoring in the first half lately? Houston last 3, they're allowing 31, but at home 20.4 versus 30 on the road. Like, they are clamping guys. at home. Like the first half is nuts. Scoring wise, yeah. I'd probably take that team total under 30.5 first half for Kansas. I like that angle. I'm gonna actually probably click it and add it to the card. All right. Yeah. So this will probably be a 31-49 first half. Houston slaughters and I lose by half a point. So can't wait for that. Next, Tennessee, Kentucky. Dalton Knecht points. Do we just call it a day there? I mean, how's this guy not getting 50 points today?
I like that.
Should you put up the graphic that you texted us the other day? Dalton Knecht.
I gotta find that. Holy smokes, that was
I'm sure
that
it's
was
somewhere.
insane.
Holy
It was fake for sure. It was fake.
100% fake, but it was so funny. I think it was God, where is it? Here, I know that's a Sienna update.
I'll try and find it too. But yeah, that game should have a ton of points in it, right?
Yeah,
this is one over. I wanted to ask you about, Nick. Is this an over you would take? I kind of like this over.
It's high as fuck, isn't it?
I know,
like
166.
Yeah. When it gets to those numbers, like it's just so fucking scary because it's like if you go 3 minutes without points, like you're just fucked.
Yep.
And Tennessee's defense is like a fucking very good, obviously. Like Kentucky's defense, we've seen them just give up 1 million fucking points before. But at times they can also play as well. Like, you know, they've held Auburn to 59 points at Auburn before. Like that's like the one game that sticks out to me.
That was like one time though.
Yeah, I mean, of course, like, you know, the games after that, like they gave up 95, 89 to Mississippi State, 102 to Arkansas, even 77 to Vandy is fucking bad. But like, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I if I had to take a side, like it would be the over, obviously, just because of how good the offenses are and how fast that both of them play. Like they both are top 25 in pace. So there should be just a ton of extra possessions just because of that. Tennessee can get offensive boards for that as well. They're okay at getting to the line, and they're pretty bad at putting the other team on the line. So maybe we'll get some free throws as well. But it's just so fucking high.
Yeah. I mean, the last time these two played, Knecht had 16 points, but if you're going to look at what he's doing right now, the dude's going dummy. 26, 13, 39, 24, 17, 14, 22, 22, 27. Like the guy's just a fucking bucket machine. His threes are only at 2.5. I mean, if you look at these last 5 of 11, 1 of 7, 5 of 8, 4 of 9, 3 of 6. I mean, he's been jacking them up and he's been hitting them lately. And Kentucky's fairly decent at limiting the threes. 33.5% shooting, only giving up 30.4% from the line or 3-point line. But he's in a groove, and Kentucky they can't play defense if their life depended on it. Like you said, 77 to Vandy, but 102 to Arkansas, 89 to Mississippi State, 95, 74 to LSU. The one defensive game they had, 59 against Auburn. Ole Miss got 63. They're not an offensive juggernaut. I mean, they're giving up points when they do, and now they're hitting the road. A ton of possessions. Dalton Knecht is he's just on another planet right now. His points are 23.5. Over and under juiced -120. That's interesting.
Fuck. Dude, the worst is like on DraftKings when like you see like a -4 and you like look at an alt line, like they have like the one you scroll over and they see like a -4 and it's like -120 versus -110 on like the normal line. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
doesn't make sense.
Makes zero sense.
I'm not taking under here. I like the over here. It sounds disgusting, but come on, 90 to 80, make it happen.
Yep. I mean,
what's Tennessee's team total? 80 something.
Oh, good point. Good 80 point. 86.5. It is juiced under -120, but I mean 77 to Vandy, 102, 89, 95. They give up. They just give up points. Like all they want is the ball back and the
I
score.
can't
They
believe
don't care
that
to play
I'm at this
defense.
point in my life too. I do this every like back in Rick Barnes in March, but like this Tennessee team feels like they can make a run here, and I feel like it's just always a letdown for Rick Barnes, especially in Tennessee too. This is one where it feels kind of right for them this season, and I hate being excited about them in March right now.
Yeah. It feels like a totally different Tennessee team than normal. I mean, that's the power of Dalton Connect. So you got a guy on that offense who can actually score at will now. That's what they needed for
Fucking
the last
shame he was
10
at
years.
Northern Colorado for 3 years, like 2 years, whatever. It's just, I mean, love the portal, but this guy's a hooper.
Yeah.
Certified.
Yeah. If Zach Edey wasn't doing his thing, I think Dalton Connect would legitimately have a chance for Player of the Year. I mean, he's absurd. I mean, at home, Dalton Connect shooting 37% from 3 at home this year. He's only getting about 2 threes a game though on average. I don't know. If anything, I'll probably just play that team total over for Tennessee. That would feel safer than backing a player prop. I mean, he rolls his ankle and it's fucked. So, shit, it is 11 o'clock already. Oh, holy shit! My bad. We were
Do the parlay.
yeah. Let's knock that out quick. Actually, anyone got a play they want to throw in here first at the ready?
I've got one earlier slot, Richmond at George Mason. I believe that line is at 2.5 right now. I grabbed it this morning at -1 for George Mason.
Okay.
Richmond is staples on the floor in defense, but those offenses are fairly similar. George Mason is a really talented roster, actually, and despite losing by 7 at Richmond, now they're laying points. Line kind of reeks, but I like the spot, and grabbing it at -1 is more or less just a money line play. So that was one of my favorite picks on the board.
Yeah, I saw that
Sounds
as
good.
well. I almost took Mason.
Got him in the parlay. What do
Richmond
I
is also
most-
like horrific at rebounding, right?
And didn't they just win the A10 or share of it?
I'm not sure.
I think they just won the A10. With the
Probably. They've only lost 2 games.
Yeah, Richmond's the worst offensive rebounding team in the country.
Yeah.
362.
Yep.
But they're 78th best defensive rebounding team. Make it make sense.
Yeah,
Crash
they're
both
re-
sides.
They're really good on defense, which
Yeah.
is the scary thing about this game. But I think the line is telling.
Yeah, I agree with you. I like George Mason as well.
Let's do it. I got the money line in there.
Oh. Do we want to plus money for the parlay? Might as well, right?
Your pick, dude. What's your
Western
favorite?
Western Carolina today against Furman. Late slate. Hopefully this is the the main event wrap up. Give me Western Carolina plus money, plus 110, plus 105. If you can find
that line
it.
kind of reeks.
Yeah.
Love
It's
that play.
Furman 1.5.
Furman's solid though, man. I hate fading Furman. And I think Furman wants to play Samford again because they've spoiled them. Western Carolina plays Samford, they'll get the brakes blown off of them. But if they sneak by this game, there's something about this magic of Western Carolina today. So I already took them on the money line at plus money. Maybe it's down to a pick 'em now. At even.
I like it.
I don't know what to do for mine either.
There's a lot of like long lines today. You know what I mean? Like it's tough to like find like one at pick 'em. I'm trying to give a pick 'em. My other one would have been like Northwestern money line, but that's like minus 180. So
I think I'm gonna put South Carolina plus 5.5 in mine. As mine.
I like it.
What were you putting in?
South Carolina plus the 5.5.
South
Very
Carolina.
very spaced out parlay so far. I like it. Like time wise, I like it.
Mm-hmm.
Mississippi
Kind of.
frauds.
I think I'm just gonna kind of be a little chalky here. I think I'm gonna go Houston first half money line, just because I don't see Kansas jumping on them again, especially at home after they did what they did at home against Houston. I mean, it's minus 245.
I got them all plugged into FanDuel. Plus
Perfect.
797.
Already, and still got to add another leg. It's gonna be a big one, boys.
Could be 1,000.
Could be
No.
1,000.
Wait, are you not doing Houston first half? I have that. That's what I have as the fourth leg.
Okay.
You
I
have
can
that.
change it. Yeah. I mean, obviously, you can change it, but
I feel, you know what? Let's do it. Houston first half. It's chalky as fuck, but they're not gonna lose. If anything, they'll at least be tied at halftime. They're gonna have this lead though. They're gonna come out and skull fuck Kansas.
I hope so.
Yeah, it's
yeah,
happening,
plus
boys.
797.
I love Kelvin Sampson. I'm an IU fan that I just wish we kept Kelvin Sampson through all the bullshit. And I get there's like optics to it, but I mean I'm a Kelvin Sampson fan. He's a good guy, and I think Kenneth said this in the chat. Shout out Kenneth, hanging with us this Saturday morning. Houston never forgets. And Houston, we have a problem. Let's go Cougars. All right, so that's Houston minus 3.5 first half, Western Carolina money line, South Carolina plus 5.5, and George Mason money line.
We said Houston first half money line.
Yeah,
minus 3.5.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. If you want to put that in yourself, go for it. But I'm playing the money line.
Okay, sounds good.
I guess last little bit before we get out here, you guys just want to run over what you have on the card today.
Sure. Someone kick us off.
We'll let you go first.
All right. As of right now, the official card stands at Lemoyne plus 7.5, St. Peter's minus 2.5, Texas A&M plus 1.5, George Mason minus 1, and Villanova plus 1.5.
Got High Point spread talked into Oklahoma plus 5, Iowa State minus 3. Maybe getting talked into South Carolina. I'll let you know. Got Western Carolina money line already locked up as well. And Houston first half with you guys. Come swim with the Dolphins, Elliot says. Let's go, Elliot. Shout out, Elliot.
Fins up, baby. I'll just read off what I got. I'm gonna add more plays today. I met a buddy out last night, so I was a little behind the 8 ball today, but I've got Arkansas over 80.5 points. I'm riding with Will on Lemoyne plus 7.5. Siena team total under, depending on the injury report. So stay posted on that. I think that's shit. What was the other game that I was looking at? Oh, the Western Carolina. I'm playing that money line just because that line reeks. And they're at home. Final game, Vontavious Woolbright. He's probably going to have another double-double at least. He's probably going to grab 12 rebounds like he always does. I think it means more. Furman's probably getting ready for the SoCon because they can't win this. They can't, or the conference or anything. So they're going to be focused up for that tournament. So give me Western Carolina at home. Yeah, that'll be it. I'll finish going over the rest of the card.
Neutral site.
But
Western Carolina is a neutral site.
it's a neutral. Is the tournament already?
Sunbelt,
I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
They're not a Power 5, you idiot. So that's neutral.
Winner most likely plays Samford, but they play the winner of Samford Mercer for this one.
Yeah.
Fair. Yeah, they got Furman. Yeah, I mean they don't turn it over either. 13.8 possession turnover. Yeah, so they'll hang on. Give it to me. Let's go Western Carolina. Vontavious Woolbright masterclass today.
I forgot I had Northwestern locked up as well, so that was my other play I missed. But I'll definitely have way more and some live plays, hella live plays today.
Yeah. Like I said, I only have Arkansas and Lemoyne for the early slate. So fins up, go Hogs. Yeah, fuck Alabama. But did you guys see the night slate? Oh my god, we got a 10 o'clock, an 11, and an 11:30 game. Let's go.
So good.
We got like 16 hours of hoops ahead of us.
Yeah, we do. It's
all right. Well,
Yep.
Does Missouri get their win today?
No.
Fuck no.
I wasn't early in the year. I was addicted to betting them, and now I just laid off. But man, they played Auburn tough for a half.
Kenneth in the chat has said he's grabbing Drake. I'm on Drake as well.
Drake.
I like that.
What's the line
I like that. I'll tell you
two
right now.
1.5 or 2. Yeah, I just took the money line at minus
Bradley. Fuck Bradley.
Bradley's looked a little down this
Bradley. Year. The whole world wants to see Drake versus Indiana State in the championship because these are the two teams that deserve to make the bid, and that's going to be a fucking battle. So I want to see that. I'll tell Drake right now. I'm adding that to the card. Let's go.
Yeah, Kennis. I'm on that too. I really like that play.
Yep.
Drake. Yeah.
Kenneth is the man. Let's go. Giving out winners today.
Yep. They beat Bradley by 7 and 7.
Is that game on at 4 or 6? Is that game on at 6?
5 o'clock my time, so 6.
5 Central.
Yep.
Yeah, 60.
Let's go.
Texas Tech -2 at home against Baylor.
I like Baylor, but I'm not taking it.
Kind of like Texas Tech.
Will, you're on. Were you on Tech or am I tripping?
No.
Oh, I'm tripping.
What was that parlay paying out, Nick?
$7.97 on FanDuel. I sent the screenshot on Twitter in the group chat.
Yeah. Tech got embarrassed at home in the last game, didn't they? Wasn't that like the 30-point drumming from Texas?
Yes.
Oh shit! Sorry.
Yeah, it was. They lost by they only lost by 12, but still. I mean, Baylor. They went to Baylor and lost by 6 this year. So they played them tight there. Texas Tech might be added. You can't finish your season off losing back-to-back home games and losing that Texas game the way they did. They were never in that game. Never, ever, ever in that game. Fans were throwing shit on the court. Oh my god, this is
the one guy getting pulled out like he's Steve Austin on like 1999 Monday Night Raw. It's like unbelievable. It's like being held. He's like parallel to the ground. Cops are holding him on each limb. It's fucking hilarious. That was amazing.
Fucking love it. All right, well, yeah, I might add Tech, but this is fun. Little late jump to the day, but
sorry, hangovers were heavy this morning. Yep.
I knew I shouldn't have went out, but my buddy's like, let's watch the Boise State game. I was like, all right. Of course, shots start getting poured, and fuck, ended up being a long night, but we get it done with Boise. Will, thanks for joining us, man. I think we're doing the conference show. Well, I'll let you plug your own thing.
Yeah, go give us a follow on Twitter at Overdue Sports. We'll be running down some conference tournaments later today. Trevor will be on for Big 10, Big 12, Pac-12. So tune in.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Thanks for hopping on, Will.
Absolutely, man. Thanks for having me on.
Hey, bro,
yeah, we'll be going live this week too. So who knows? Maybe we'll throw you back in if you want. We'll more the merrier. Doesn't matter. We'll be 2, 3, 4 man. Doesn't matter. So more the merrier. Get that brain flowing and figure out some different spots here. But yeah, great day of hoops. Thanks for joining us. Looking forward to that conference preview for some P5s, and let's fucking win every bet today, guys.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Let's go. All right. Thank you, guys. And we'll see. Oh, parlay one more time. George Mason money line, Western Carolina money line, South Carolina +5.5, and Houston first half is about 8-1 on FanDuel. So let's hit that too. Why not? Make it a good day. We're already using house money for these anyway, so there we go.
True.
All right.
Hell
We
yeah.
will see you guys later.
See you guys.